Welcome back to Pittsburgh Sports with Scooter. Are you effing kidding me? I need to talk about the Brandon Lowe ejection last night. So, during the game, Brandon Lowe strikes out um, on a called strike three. Excuse me. And he's upset. He says something, says something walking away from the umpire, uh, gets ejected on his way back to the dugout. Um, According to Brandon Lowe, if you believe what Brandon Lowe says, and I have no reason not to believe him, he says he wasn't even talking to the umpire. He was mad at himself, and he was talking to himself. His exact statement was, I got tossed for saying I struck out on ball 4. Really? An MLB player got tossed out of a baseball game for saying I got struck out on ball 4. If that's true, and like I said, I have no reason to doubt Brandon Lowe. Let's look at it. Brandon Lowe has never been tossed out of an MLB game in his career, and we're not talking about a guy who has only been around for a year or two. That's a rookie. We're not talking about a guy who argues a lot, who says much of anything to the umpires, and he gets tossed out for being mad at himself and saying, I struck out on ball 4. That's a prime example of umpires trying to be bigger than the game. I'm the boss. You can't do nothing. I'll show you. That should never happen. Umpires should do their job and not be seen, basically. An umpire's doing his job when you don't even realize the umpire's out there. Major League Baseball needs to take a look at this. They need to figure out if Brandon Lowe's telling the truth, which, as I said again, I have no reason to doubt Brandon Lowe. He's never been thrown out of a game. He does not argue with umpires. You can see him get frustrated with himself from time to time. You're allowed to do that as far as I know. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Is there a new rule in baseball that if a player swears at himself, or if a player argues with himself, or if a player shows frustration on the field, you can now throw him out of the baseball game? Major League Baseball, you need to investigate this. You need to look at this. Because if what Brandon Lowe says is true, this umpire should face some kind of consequences for his actions, for wanting to be bigger than the game, for wanting the spotlight on him. Most umpires are good, they don't do that, but some do. And I think it's a disgrace to the game, and it should absolutely be looked at. And this umpire, if you can prove what Brandon Lowe says, this umpire should be suspended, docked some money. And I would say that if it was Brandon Lowe, and I would say that if it was somebody from the Yankees or the Dodgers that I can't stand. That shouldn't take place. It should never happen like that. I'm actually surprised in that situation that Donnie Kelly didn't get tossed too. I'm surprised he didn't come out irate and get tossed. They need to take a look at it. I might even feel differently if, this was a player who constantly yelled at umpires and argued over everything and caused big scenes. I could almost understand the quick reaction, but for a guy who's never been tossed out of a game, and that's the first time he gets tossed is for something like that, that's disgusting. So let's hope Major League Baseball takes a look at it. Get these umpires put back in where they should be, and that's not putting themselves over players in a game. They're not there for that. So if you like this video, hit like and subscribe. I just needed to put that out there. It blows my mind. I didn't even know why he was being ejected last night. I didn't see him do anything, really. So hit like and subscribe, and then as always, let's go Bucks.